Hey friends, it's Sarah. Welcome to Creative Ramblings, where I share simple, inspiring projects. Today I am bringing you fall Dollar Tree DIY projects that you can make with a few simple supplies. First up is this beautiful faux wood pumpkin sign. I'm going to show you how to get that technique. You want to start with a piece of white foam board, a felt pumpkin, and a variety of paint. Start with some gray paint. Any gray paint will do. And using a wide brush, you want to paint that whole piece of foam board gray. I like to use a lot of paint in this step because it helps for that paint to be wet for a while so you can manipulate it with some other colors in the next step. Once the whole board is painted, you want to grab a wide brush, a dry brush, and some white acrylic paint. And using just a little bit of paint on the tip of that brush, you want to make long strokes over the gray paint. Now, wood varies, real wood varies in color and texture, so we're going to try to mimic that, where there's going to be some parts of this board that have a lot of paint on it and some that just have real streaky finish to it. And so you can vary it up as you go down the board with that brush. So once we've got the white on there, we're going to go back with a thin brush and some black paints. And we are going to just add some black lines to simulate different boards. Now these can be thick black lines and just make them evenly spaced down the foam board. And then I'm going to show you how you can soften up these lines a little bit to give it a really weathered look. Using that same brush that we used for the white paint, come back, grab just a little bit of white paint, and you're going to slowly skirt the edge of the black line and kind of clean it up a little bit. You could actually go completely over the line if you choose and really blur in that black in with the gray and white to make those lines not so noticeable, whatever your personal preference is. Once you've done this all the way down, you want to take your foam board and just turn it around so that we can use that same technique on the other side of the black lines. So again, taking that wide brush, we're just going to put a little bit of white paint on and pull the brush across the bottom of the black line, really blending it in there. And then we're just going to let this dry completely. Now I'm going to take that board outside, put it down in a drop cloth, and I'm going to put this decorative felt pumpkin on top. Now since it's windy outside, I want to hold my pumpkin in place. I'm just going to use a few rocks to hold it in place. And then using a white chalk paint, I'm going to spray a few very light coats over the entire board until it's completely covered. Don't do this all at once, use a few light coats. Once it's all covered, pop off that pumpkin and look at that. This is a beautiful statement piece that only cost a few dollars and it looks amazing on my mantle this fall. All right, next up, we have a smaller piece of decor. This is a small little leaf. And I started with a metallic plastic plate and that white chalk paint again. Take it outside, add a few very light coats of paint. You don't want to use too much because it will drip. I'm going to let that dry and come back and add a few more coats. Once this is dry completely, we're going to move on to the next step. Now taking a pencil, I'm just going to write a little fall message on here. I chose to go with Happy Fall, y'all. Something really simple I can do with a pencil. What I like about using pencil here is I can easily erase it if I need to. Then I'm just going to come back over it with a Sharpie to darken that up and make it stand out a little bit. If you're a fan of simple projects like this, be sure to subscribe to Creative Rambling so you don't miss the next video. I share all kinds of Dollar Tree and simple projects every week. This little fall leaf is sitting at the bottom of my mantle, and it's a cute little decoration that I can move around my house this season. Project number 3 is an outdoor sign. I took an outdoor sign that was already made at Dollar Tree and I turned it into something a little more my style. This sign that says "Bless This Home" doesn't quite fit with my decor, so I chose to change it up a little bit. It's a very shiny sign, so the first thing I did was take just a sanding block and sand it down a little bit. I got all that glitter off of it and just roughed it up so that this white chalk spray is going to really stick to it. So again, just light coats, wait till they dry in between, and then go and add a second coat. When it's dry, I'm going to use a very similar technique to that leaf. I'm just going to grab a pencil and write a few words on my sign. Again, this pencil erases really easily from the chalk paint, so if I make a mistake, I can just go back and erase it. But I chose to write pumpkins, apples, and hayrides on my sign. Now to make these letters stand out, I am going to use a metallic copper paint and a really fine brush and just go over those words to make them stand out and give them a little texture. I'm going to take this sign and I'm going to put it in with my mom's on my front porch. These 3 DIY fall projects are all made using Dollar Tree supplies, something that everyone has access to. If you like projects like this, be sure to subscribe to Creative Ramblings and see all kinds of inexpensive, simple, inspiring projects for your home. Let me know down below, which one of these projects do you want to try first? Up next, take a look at these simple, inspiring projects.